thick, hard, kind of like a cardboard-esque covering. It follows the contour of the skull, right? Of the brain. I mean, not the skull. Oh my gosh. But check this out. It dips into crevices and stuff. Okay. So if you follow the brain, you notice how there's a really big fissure. Remember our really, really, really big sulci fissures, right? Right.
Longitudinal.
Yeah. So the duramater dips into this fissure, but then when it hits the corpus callosum, it can't go any further because the corpus callosum is attached to the other side. So then it just comes back up and it goes back over the next hemisphere, right? Same thing in the back here. The duramater dips into the transverse fissure, and then once it hits where the attachment is, it comes back out and wraps around. So note, if you will.
Is the cerebellum the cauliflower thing?
Yeah. So note, if you will, this is duramater. Duramater,
Okay.
duramater. I say mater now, I think of cars. Mater. If you put said scully thingy, it sits like in like the
I got
the
it.
dip down in
Longitudinal
here
fissure.
sits in the longitudinal fissure. This piece right here of the duramater is called, anybody? Falx cerebri, right? The falx cerebri. Let's tab it out.
So that sits in the duramater.
Yeah, no, it is duramater.
Okay.
It sits in the longitudinal fissure.
Cerebral.
So the falx cerebri sits in the longitudinal fissure.
How would you ask that, Dawn?
He could ask what this is. He could ask what it sits in. What's the major division it sits in?
So if he says, what is this, we say it's the duramater of the...
It's called the falx cerebri, but it is duramater.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Your duramater has like 4 partitions. The 2 you have to know for lab is the duramater, and then this down here is called the tentorium cerebelli. Is that right? Tentorium cerebelli. And that one sits. You can kind of see how it would like sit right up in here. Does that make like see what I'm saying? How it would if it were the correct size and like made for that model. It sits right up in here. The tentorium. It looks like a tent almost. Like from the bottom, you can like put it on the ground. It kind of looks like a tent. Someone told me that. So they say instead of tantorium, they say tent, like tentorium cerebelli. And that sits in which fissure? Yes. Good guys. Good.
And that's tentorium cerebelli.
Exactly.
And he would ask what major division that was in. You said it was between the cerebrum and cerebellum.
That's a major division.
What was it? Cerebrum or cerebellum?
No, what's the division? Look at your sheet and find major divisions. They're bolded. It's on the bottom left. Say, what's your list? What are your options?
Cerebrum, cerebellum.
Major, what do I say? Dividing line. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
saying division.
Yeah, okay, I apologize. Well, I think you pointed that out. I applaud. Yay.
I didn't even know I was pointing it out.
So yeah, I applaud. He would say which dividing line does it sit in?
Okay.
He'll use his terms. I'm sorry. My head's running away. Yeah.
So
Which dividing line does it sit in? But
the
yes.
falx cerebri is duramater
Mhm.
that sits in the longitudinal fissure. The tentorium cerebelli is another name for a duramater, but it sits in the transverse fissure.
Yeah. Partition. Isn't partition like a wall or like a part of a wall or something?
That partition is a division.
Yeah, so these are partitions. Yeah. Partition. So I guess the top one, the falx cerebri divides the cortex, and then the tentorium cerebelli probably divides the cerebrum from the cerebellum. I don't know, it's not, yeah.
That sits in the...
I would just know what dividing line is.
Yeah, I would just know what dividing lines
So
are.
transverse.
So what dividing line does that go into? Just
You tell me.
I thought you said the transverse.
It does.
Okay. Okay, good. Sorry.
You're good.
So let me see. Tentorium cerebelli and falx cerebri.
Yeah.
Cerebri.
Can anybody tell me in the duramater, all sinuses are begins with a V, right? Isn't it vein? Is that right? I think it's in my notes somewhere. Anyway, you have see all those little veiny looking things? in the durameter,
Mhm.
they are what they look like. They look like veins, right? See how there's a really big one up by the very top that goes around, around. Do you guys know what that is? He has it as an example in your notes under duramatter. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this up here on both sides. Yeah. Superior sagittal sinus. All sinuses are veins. It doesn't like carry like blood out of the. Let me check my notes.
Yeah, it says the two layers form the wall of the vein, superior sagittal